Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 7, verse 2. And in the previous verse, Arjun had asked to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, since you have said in the previous one, people who don't have faith in the Shastras do not attain you, but what happens to people who have faith in something, in demigods or something? So Bhagwan Shri Krishna is now saying that people who have faith are either in modes of one of the modes of material nature, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. And the commentaries of both are very, very different in this. So let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and let's try to understand this as best as possible. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand these verses and please help us understand the difference between real faith in the Shastras, real faith in the real path in obtaining you through Guru Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastra, I think, and this thing that Arjun is talking about and asking, and today's verse that we're going to be talking about in this video. Please help us understand all of this and please help us come closer to you, and thank you for all the gifts that you have given. Lately I've been listening to the two-part series of the journaling workshop of Raj Bihari Prabhu, and I've started to implement it. I've heard one of the lectures of the two-part series. They're about 2 hours each, and I posted the links on, I think, 3 videos ago. I posted the link in the description, so if you're interested you can go look. I would very highly recommend you look at it. It's amazing, and I implemented it last night, and I implemented it today actually. Last night, maybe a little bit, today in the morning, and it was amazing. It changed it, because when my mind was wandering and my mind was like in ego mode and happy but not happy in a real happy, but happy in ego mode, like, look, I accomplished this kind of thing, and then I was able to use that, and I was able to use the awareness journal that he talks about and say, okay, my mind is doing this, my mind is thinking this, my mind is feeling this, because mind includes emotion, and write all of that down. And then when I turned towards Krishna, I mean, he says, like, when you're turning towards the mind, then you cannot possibly see Krishna who's on the other side. So you have, when you turn towards Krishna, then you can't see the mind. So you have to be one or the other. You can't be both. So this way, the switching between awareness journal and prayer journal allows you to quieten the mind, focus on the mind, because the mind is chattering, and you focus on the mind and you're like, okay, I will listen to you. You tell me what you want. And then once you've written that down, then you can switch to the other side. Okay. So yeah, I'm rambling, but basically, thank you for these gifts. Thank you for inspiring me to listen to those journal workshops, and thank you for helping me implement, and helping me implement it in such a way that the first time I did it, I felt like I was able to connect deeper. Okay, so let's sing the verse together. श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of material nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of 3 kinds. Okay, so according to the modes of nature acquired by the soul, embodied soul, Dehinam, one's faith can be in goodness, passion, or ignorance. Now, hear about this. Now, he's going to talk about it. Tam Shrino, hear about that. Shrino means hear. Those who know the rules and regulations but out of laziness give up following these are governed by modes of material nature. Okay, so those who know it but they do not follow it are governed by. But what about those who don't know it? I'm a little confused there. According to their previous activities, they acquire a nature. So according to their previous activities in the different modes, they acquire a specific nature, and the association of the living entity with different nature, basically all through eternity, we're in the material world, we have been acquiring different modes of nature based on association. Now, this is something I had learned in one of the classes that I had attended here, is that when you are in association, when a person, you can see that, like, maybe really pious homes, there might be people brought up in really pious homes, and they're like doing all puja every day in their whole family homes, and they're doing everything. And then they come to college and they get into association with people who are drinking, smoking, all of that. Then they can fall, right? Because they're associating with those people. And similarly, we know of many, many situations where people go to college and they don't have that much of a background from home, but they go to college and then they associate with people who are going to the temple or whatever, and they start going to the temple, they start living in the temple. There's so many people I've heard who in colleges get introduced to Krishna consciousness and who become sattvic. So whatever, and the thing is, once we become sattvic, we can still fall. Sattvic is still golden chains. We're not free, right? We're still in the modes of material nature. So if a sattvic person falls in association with tamasic activities, all of that stuff, like, it'll start slowly with TV maybe, or with something, and then slowly it'll increase. So it's still modes of material nature, and if you are in a mode of material nature, whether low or high, you can go into the other two modes of material nature. So as long as we are in there, we can keep going. We will keep going up and down based on our association. So that's why it's very, very important to have good association. And so when we associate with a spiritual master and abide by rules and scriptures, then we can change the position. We go through the modes of material nature, ignorance to passion to goodness, and then once we're in goodness, then we can switch to transcendental. We can get out of these material modes and go into transcendental state. But for that we also need association, but not association of the mode of goodness people, but the association of transcendental people. It's still all based on association. It's so important to have the right association. What he's talking about here is very different. So those, I think, are very powerful points. And here, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Okay. The supreme, so every human being is born with innate faith, which can be Rajasic, Tamasic, or Sattvic. So innate faith. Now he's talking about that innate faith. What is that? People who are atheistic have faith in their eyes or science, right? I do not believe in God because I cannot see him, so that they have faith in their eyes. I believe in science, even though science is changing all the time and theories are being disproven all the time and everything, but they still have faith in science. So that's faith. That still requires faith. Or people who have faith in demigods or whatever. Everybody has faith. Every human being is born with innate faith. That's what he's saying. Every human being is born with innate faith, which can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Now he's going to explain further about that. So that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 17 verse 3 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.